welcome back to Tom Studios. Today I'm playing the Mystery Flesh Pit, as some of you might know. Now, I know a lot about the pit myself. Through this window there's whatever that is. But for those of you who don't know, the game is based around the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, which is a national park built inside of a giant monster that's... And today we're just gonna go on a tour through everything. So this is Septum Falls, our first stop. It's the Snot Falls. You can just pause the video and read this if you want. But it's a stream of mucus, and they believe it's even longer than the Mississippi River, and only the end portion has been discovered, and it goes into the Lesser Gastric Sea. This is the Lesser Gastric Sea right here. Most of the things on this map aren't in the game, but I'm gonna go through most of these things. So this, yeah, that's unloading bay. That's the falls. It's just a seating area. I don't know what that is. That's a bathroom. Here you can grab some cola. And this is just a trail to explore a little more. Oh wow, it looks... Never played in these extremely high graphics before, so it looks wet. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I might die. Can I jump? Alright, well, there's the fall and a pipe. I'm not sure what the pipe does, but most of the pipes divert things. Like water. It pumps water that rains into the pit and pumps it outside. Because the water has nowhere to go but in. It can't go out unless the place is overflowing. So if there aren't any pumps, the place is gonna flood. And that's what happens to 2007 disaster. There are more pipes there. And I don't know how you get there, and I don't think you can. Oh, those aren't pipes. Those... I don't know what those are. But alright, let's go and move on to the next place on our tour, which is a resting area first, and then after the resting area, it's the Southern Bronchial Forest. And I'm just gonna pause the video as I walk to places, because it can take a while to just walk to places. I don't think I can pause videos, sorry. Well, there are things going on in chat. I'm calling your mom. The glass looks like plastic. What's that face? More pipes. They go through all the hallways. I think there might be cables in them too. For power. That's the resting area right there. It's also a nesting ground. So the wildlife nest there. Wildlife are macrobacteria. Oh, here's our first stop actually. It's quite nice. So the macrobacteria is basically like regular bacteria. They're just much larger because the creature is much larger. So its bacteria will be larger. Now the bronchial forests are the creature's lungs. It inhales the entire winter and then exhales the entire summer. Now during the summer, this is the gastric sea, it's closed. But during the summer, the lungs are closed because there's a high concentration of carbon dioxide and extreme heat. Now I'm not gonna go through the entire forest because it's a long trail. I'll go through the trail in the northern forest a little bit because it's much shorter. Yeah, there are just signs saying don't go off your trail because yeah, it's dangerous. There are dangerous wildlife in there. I also say you shouldn't think too high of yourself because some people think they're good hikers and then they're not because it's hard trails. The shortest trail is an hour and a half, and you go up and down a lot, like hills and down hills. This is the ranger outpost, where the rangers live. The rangers are almost like the soldiers in a way. They look after the park and protect the guests from wildlife to going on tours. Bathrooms. Here are models, Legos, and a model of one of the vehicles. This is the medical area, or general reception area. That's the National Park Service logo. A map and a reminder list. Keep visitors off ancient cone. Defang the copepods. Yeah, people eat copepods. The ancient cone is up there somewhere. Those are where the ranger stations are in both forests. And the ancient cone, might get to that later in another video. But here are the vehicles. They're used for rangers to go deep into the pit. There are also safari variants that aren't in the game, but they're used to take guests deep into the pit. They use screws that spin and turn for propulsion. And next is the resting area, then we'll go to Thor's ribcage. I'll show as much as I can in one video, but I might have to show the rest in another video. Apparently the forest is really nice during the inhalation period because there's a ton of fresh air in the chamber, but it's the opposite for the exhalation. The resting area is up ahead. You can read about the pit online. It was created by someone named Trevor Roberts. And then the resting area is through here. I've seen nests somewhere in the game, I think. Can't remember where. But there are nests. Just contain eggs with wildlife. And here's our first stop, or our next stop, the resting area. The emergency phones are there so you can set your spawn. So if I die, I'll just respawn right here. Nesting grounds, please be quiet. So there's the path we walked earlier. And that's a nesting ground. Down there, there's basically nothing. I wonder if I can... Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, there is like nothing down there, so... do not. Right now we're going to Thor's ribcage. The ribcage doesn't protect anything, but it is believed that deeper in the pit there are other ribcages that protect the pit's organs. I wonder if there's anything protecting the lungs, because your lungs are pretty important. There it is. It's a bit dark, but that says Thor's ribcage. Later we'll go back and look at the cones because they're left, I believe. And I'm out of cola. Oh, we're here already. It's not that far, but it's a viewing area. Sign that says you can fall because it's pretty dark. Yeah, there you can see a little better. And then you can read this. Just pause the video and read it if you want. Alright, next stop, I can't remember. I think it's Hallelujah Rock. People believe it's a kidney stone, but it's not a kidney stone. There it is. Alright, let me explain its history. I'm not sure what its history is, but it's a giant rock, and it's one of the first landmarks, so people would get lost, and then if they find the rock, they'd scream hallelujah because they found a landmark so they can navigate out. It's not used for that anymore because they're clear paths, but in the early days of the pit, the path was... The tunnels weren't even as tall as my character is. and it was easy to get lost because there weren't any signs because we didn't know where everything was. So it's pretty beautiful, it's very colorful, and there is the rock. If you play the game yourself, you can jump down there and look around a little. You'll be able to get back up and you'll survive the fall. So you can pause the video and read this if you want. And along that path there is just another map up there. But I've mostly memorized the map, so we don't need a map. It's much darker when you have your graphics on the highest, but it does. It also looks grosser because the flesh looks wet. It's most likely some kind of acid. Around the pit there lies gastric acid. I think it's acid that's kind of like stomach acid, I think. I'm not sure. But if you step in it, you should wash your hands immediately. Or wash whatever immediately. Because it burns. The wildlife of the pit also drags some creatures from the surface down. And then the creatures could melt in the acid and melt together, creating a hybrid creature. It sounds horrifying, but cool at the same time. Oh yeah, some spikes. I'm not sure what they are. They might just be supports. I don't know. And there is Giant's Kiln. It's one of my favorite places in the pit, and there we have a map. So our next stop is, after this, is Little Detroit's. So these structures are just to keep everything open because, if I'm correct, the pit has a healing system, so this tunnel will close if we don't attempt to keep it open. And there it is. Oh, and we found another person. So pause the video and read this if you want. Alright, so if I'm correct, Giant's Kiln is basically its liver or pancreas or whatever. Beware of the heat. You can't actually die in the game, but in real life it's extremely hot. So it helps to digest fat. If you go more around the pit, you'll find a ton of yellow on the wall. That is all fat. I mean, the creature must have a lot of fat stored because it's been hibernating so long. You can actually get up there, but there's a barrier so you can go through. If you look up, it just falls from darkness. And it falls into darkness. And now we'll go to Little Detroit's. So Little Detroit's was a mine. At the beginning, they got tons of resources which helped to build the park. In fact, they got a ton of resources from the place. I'll show you where they extracted, but they've created things like a product called Vita Sal, which apparently helps with medical conditions or aging. And they've used nervous tissue to create computers and to create bands, which if you put them on your arm, you'll be able to see more colors than the regular human eye can, and they last like 10 hours. Correct? But the problem with nervous tissue is it dies, so eventually the computer won't be able to work anymore. The computers had 4 terabytes of storage, which is as much as the human brain, which is a lot. Caution, yeah, it is dangerous beyond here. There's a lot of blood, which indicated that, yeah, attacks from wildlife are actually pretty common. You can actually turn that machine on over there. It'll just grind you. And down in that darkness, somewhere is an old ranger station. I don't think there's any wildlife down there. But alright, let me show you the cell. Spell it CELA, and it stands for Commercial Extraction Lease Area. I'm not sure if there are any other products that the Anodyne Inc. made from the pit, but I'm sure there could be something. If I'm correct, Vita's salve is made from a fluid deep within the pit. You can also, at the thermal springs, bathe in certain fluids. They cannot. These fluids can give you a good feeling and help with aging, and they can also make your brain very active. And, oh, I think the door can crush you, but I don't actually. There's a barrier that prevents you from going here, but I'm assuming that white rock looking thing is what they extract. If you go the other way, you'll just go to the tunnel with the hallway. If you go further in the hallway, you won't actually reach this area. You'll just reach an area that's closed off and filled with boxes. They might add something there in the future. Alright, so that's Little Detroit. Not used anymore. I wonder how much money the company actually made. I mean, they made money from people using their services, going and exploring the pit as well as selling products. So I think they made a lot, but parks closed after the 2007 disaster. The park's also not real for those of you who thought it was. And the box is that way. Alright, next on our list is the cones. After we've visited the cones, we'll go to the northern forest. I'll just reset because the cones are much closer to here than they are to where I was. Your spawn point saves even if you leave the game, so you can make it your favorite area if you want, and then you'll spawn. Oh, better view of the spikes. It's actually pretty cool. I feel lost, but I think it's this way. Yeah. Left here. That's the gift gardens. It's closed for the season and it's 8.5 kilometers long. We'll go to the Cone of the Ancients first. But basically what gift gardens is, I'm not even sure what it is, but in the poster it shows a ton of plants and a building with a car driving somewhere. Not like a regular car, it almost looks like a Martian rover. Oh well, that's an interesting sight. And then here it is, extremely dark. Oh wow, it's huge. Read. Alright, it formed in 740 AD, so 740 the year, so it was 1,300 years ago. But it's basically what they say, it's a tumor, or tumorous growth, so I mean this thing's pretty huge, so I think for it to officially have cancer, a lot would have to grow. The creature extends well into the Earth's mantle. I can't remember how deep that is, but it's massive. The modern cone is also a tumor, just it's younger than the other tumor and kind of looks like ice cream. It's believed to be made of pearls, I think. You can also go down there and explore, climb it. 5 years younger, and he was made like 800 years ago. How do scientists even know that? I wonder. The evolved chime. I'm not exactly sure what the evolved chime is, but it's pretty. Oh yeah, there's that. The evolved chime's kind of deep. I don't think you'll encounter wildlife in this area. If you want to encounter wildlife, there's I don't actually know how to. I used to, but the map had kind of an update. So there are more tunnels, and I don't know how to get there anymore. But if you explore the northern bronchial forest, at some point you could see a sign that says sub-level 2 or something. Just go down there. In that hallway there is usually a copy pod. Which way? Oh, this way, of course. Yeah, there's nothing here. It's boring, but there is whatever that is. Alright, now I don't know where the next things are. I haven't memorized the map 100%. There's not even a map here. It really helps me. But there should be a map here. Ah, yes. Alright, it's over there. And the choice. So all the other areas would be the other way. Innocence End, Bone Face, Golden Theater, and Forest. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to spawn. Now the spawn is called the Sand Gullet because it's built inside the creature's throat. And that way, that's the lower visitor center. It's the hub of the place. Are there any people here? There's just some information, you can read it, but it just says clean your campsite because it attracts macrobacteria. You should stay at least 50 meters away from abyssal copepods. And lesser copepods are more dangerous when they're in a group, but you should stay away anyway, and the recommended distance is 35 meters. In American terms, 50 yards at 35 yards, but if I'm correct, 1 yard is 0.9 meters. So during the 2007 disaster, it started raining a lot, and one of the drainage pumps didn't work, so the pit kind of flooded, and this caused the pit to wake up and make a gag reaction. So its throat kind of contracted, got smaller in a way, and that twisted the lower visitor center onto its side, and then it swallowed the visitor center. No one knows where things that are swallowed go, but it's either the grand digestive pit or one of the gastric seas. If it's one of the gastric seas, the entire building would have dissolved and everyone would have melted. But if it was the grand digestive system, they would have been. The only thing that could kill them was a high fog because all the acid was drained. Oh, there we go. Bone Face, Golden Theater, and Innocence End. Wait, am I? Was there a cola here? No, there was not. think the first landmark we'll come across is either Innocence End or Golden Theater, but I think it's Innocence End. Yeah, it's far, but it should be pretty close. It's blending up. I don't know where is where. I think that's Boneface, and this is some of the other things. We'll just check this out first. Or this might lead in a circle back to a hallway. A closed hallway. I think that's the case. I thought I saw something. There has to be something here, right? So you need a trail guide. I'm a trail guide, but I'm not a very good one. I mean, what do you need to be a good trail guide? Just gotta know the trails. I know most of them. I know some facts. That's disappointing. Oh wait, there might be cola in there. If there's cola, it might not be that disappointing after all. Oh, my game froze. Just give it a second. Oh. Not to worry. We'll just go back. So I know that's a dead end now. So we'll not go that way, but Innocence End, I'm not sure what it is. I think it's an area where one of the leaders of explorers got lost. And so they put something there in his honor because he was brave. I think he fell down and couldn't get back up. So he died of starvation or something. And then the Golden Theater is a place where shows are held. That's about it. And then Boneface is a giant bone you can climb. I can't climb it, but I've seen people who can. But I'm not one of those people. Alright, but I'll go to the northern bronchial forest now, because it's closer. If I can navigate there. I got lost the first time. Just gotta create landmarks in your head. I don't think it matters which way you go. They both lead to Septum Falls. And only one hallway can follow. Oh wait, that one just leads to the previous one we saw. So it's kind of just around outside in a non-enclosed environment. But I wouldn't go in a non-enclosed environment in real life. Okay, I don't know that way. Oh, okay. Landmarks, people. This way. Or it might not matter, but it might matter. Probably doesn't matter. It does matter. No, they lead to the same place. I think one's just longer than the other. We got a few new people. And just this way. There should be a second tunnel somewhere. It's in there. Around here somewhere. Should be a second tunnel to our left. There it is. Now we either go straight or through that tunnel. I think I'll know which one, because there's usually an exit sign if it leads to the sand gully. Oh, more landmarks. Oh, Boneface Theater, Innocence End. You know, we could explore that real quick before going there. Because that was the original intention. I think this is where we ended up last. Then I disconnected from the game. Yeah, it's kind of far. And I don't think there are vending machines there, so it's gonna be a long walk. That's my last sip. How big of sips do I have to take? Oh wait, no. The survey were original. So that must be to that other door, and this must be to the landmarks we're looking for. Oh, almost. Sorry, flashlight. Oh, almost fell again. Did I go the wrong way again? I'm lost. I'm way too lost. I'm very confused. Did I just go in a circle? Oh wait. I think I understand what's going on. Two of the paths lead from the enclosed areas to the one open path which leads to the landmarks. And they're all lined up in such a way that you can't tell which is which. So I went left, so I'm supposed to go left again, I think. Why don't they just put up signs? It'd be much easier. I wonder if there are like people-ish wildlife. There should be. They all look the same, you can't tell which way is which way. But if there's a door this way, I'm just gonna go through it because I'm way too lost for this. The landmark should be this side of... If I'm right. Probably not right. Oh wait, they are this way. Well, I've achieved something. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Innocence End, or the road leading to it. It's a very unmarked road and it's extremely dark, so be careful. Oh wait, it's not Innocence End. No, wait, it is. Well, there's a broken trail here. I don't know why. And this way should be Innocence. It's not Innocence End. It's just a circle. Well, at least you've got to see that broken trail. I'm not sure why that's there. Probably got broken or something, and they're like, ooh, we should make this landmark. And a sign. There is hope after all. But yeah, this area is still pretty dark, and I guess it is marked. More marked than I thought it was deeper, but it's not. Or maybe that's just a tiny stop. I mean, in real life, I would not walk down here unless I was with a ranger because it's so dark. Nah. Okay, it may be as far as I think. It's pretty though. There aren't even any lights. Maybe it's to represent how dark it is. Like the circus clown thing. For those of you who don't know, remember I told you about those hybrid creatures? That can happen to people, and that's what happened with the circus clown. Alright, read away. I'm not even sure what happened, but a park ranger, Bill Reed, commonly known as ribs, was on his way to oversee a movement of bacteria. Ribs fell into a chasm and was left trapped in the dark, unable to access a radio. Ribs in misfortune should act as a reminder to park visitors and staff that flesh escape is unforgiving and to take extra care when navigating. So he fell here to inspect macrobacteria. There you can see the nests. And I got stuck somewhere and starved. Was he eaten by wildlife or starved? I don't know which one's worse, but maybe starved. I don't know. It might be both. But starving, you'll just be stuck there. Wait, actually not starving. Dehydration or lack of sleep will kill you first. Oh, I thought it was a glowing mushroom. It's a lie. There are glowing mushrooms. I'll get to that. If I'm correct, the creature has a ton of hearts. There's a primary loop heart, 2 of them actually, then a secondary loop heart, a red heart, and I think another heart. Which way now? To the exit. I want the exit. Oh, come on! But I see something over there. Oh, it's a trail. Does this lead back to a door or no? We haven't gone through this yet. I don't recognize it, so it must be something new. This must be Boneface, and the other way is the Golden Theater. What's over there? Oh, not much. Oh yeah, I recognize this path now. I think it's Boneface. I'm still extremely lost. There are too many pathways. Unless you could carry a map around with you at all times. Oh, there, a sign. I usually just Google a map and look at my phone because it's on. That must be the Golden Theater or just something else. Oh, the Golden Theater is that way, if I'm correct, because the map is on. Boneface. Something I'm not gonna climb. There are videos of people climbing it, so just want that. I think there's a small relaxation area at the top. And we've gotta take a break after climbing. Am I close? We're close. That's it. It is stored tree. Now be careful when climbing in the game because you can die of fall damage. So if you fall from too high, you will die. Welcome to Boneface. They may look like eyes on the map, but they're bones. This will be extremely useful with climbing, actually. No. That's the thing inside for bone, it's like inside the bone. Boneface can be uncertain, so make sure to climb your Alright. I'll climb a little. They're just ladders. They're just ladders. Yeah. Running out of time and I want to explore or show more places. You can always inspect them yourself. Now the Golden Theater, it's boring. Did I unset my spawn there? I just want to make sure because alright, I'm gonna reset. Because that's closer to the northern bronchial forest. Which will be the last thing I show you. I did not save my spawn. Alright, which way is it? Oh, we didn't even get to the grand digestive pit. I'll do that in another video. Also, maybe show you some wildlife in that video because it doesn't take long to explore the grand digestive pit or Apes' Escape. So, it'll be a short video if I don't catch some wildlife. Some creatures that actually fell into the pit millions of years ago and then evolved to match the interior. So there's one creature that doesn't even have skin or bones, just muscle and organs moving around. And it climbs into certain pockets in the pit and then feeds off it. I don't know what exactly feeds, but there's another macrobacteria that feeds off its blood. And that thing is terrifying. There are only 2 currently in the game, but I hope they'll add more. In the actual park, there's a ton of wildlife. There's also wildlife in the forests that's not in the game. To correct, they fly around. You can search online. There's a map of the forest trails and a picture of one of the wildlife landing on a guest's arm. I'd be super terrified if one of those things landed on my arm. They're not... Okay, they're big, much bigger than your average bug. So, still terrifying, but they're not that big that they can eat you in one go. So that leads to Septum Falls and then Thor's Ribcage and everything else. But if you continue straight, you'll eventually reach the northern bronchial forest. That's a story for another day. I think we've seen enough now. Another spike thing. I'm not sure how the pit didn't notice that we were drilling. I mean, if you were to sleep and someone scratched you, you'd wake up because it could be some animal trying to eat you, so we're created to wake up. And the Moreland Ranger, tread with caution. Follow your trail guide within the bronchial forest. The forest isn't, in fact, you should probably need a trail guide when going to the southern one because its trail is much longer and there are high areas that fall off. There's no map or anything for the northern bronchial forest, so I think the creator just made his own version. Let's look at the ranger station first. It's just the regular one. I don't even know. It's a replica of the normal one, except different toys. And I think that was there before. And I think the tasks are different. There aren't any tasks. And vehicles. There's one missing vehicle. This is slightly open. Now let's go explore, shall we? There's a resting area where you can rest, and I'm going to show you some of the blue or green glowing mushrooms. If you go right here somewhere, I think I may have actually passed it. Yeah, I think I passed it. No, I didn't think I passed it. There it is. Yeah, just that area. I don't know what's going on there. And I don't know why that's there. Maybe to prevent falling, but here. Here you can have a cola and set your spot. And then there's just some information on when, you know, about the wildlife, trash, and if acid burns you. Now let's go look for some glowing mushrooms. basically can't miss them because they literally glow in the dark. There's definitely some of them up here. This trail is much shorter than the southern trail, and it just loops around. I think it's because my graphics are low, you don't see them. Here. There's some of them. Glowing mushrooms. Well, that is gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.